Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a mid lane macro video. I know you guys usually ask a lot for mid lane and you don't see much gameplay, so I'm just going to talk a lot about my thoughts in this mid lane game. So initially I almost always go for this ward when I'm playing a champion who wins level 1, the ward on their Raptors that is, and Jace wins most level 1s, so obviously I'm going to go for that word there. My Hecarim ends up going with me, which allows me to then blow the Yone flash, which is obviously a very good start for us. In this game, it's kind of a unique one because we do end up kind of snowballing really quickly, and I don't always like showing you guys games that go super well early game because then, you know, a lot of people know already how to win from ahead, but I do think that this video kind of uniquely showcases a lot of really valuable things that you can do. So the first thing is you're going to see here, we get a really early gank from my teammate, which is why my lane is the way that it is, and then allows me to just get a really early kill on him and start snowballing the game. And so I do want to talk about how to play kind of in the, like, play the macro once you get an early lead on mid lane. First thing you're going to note here is I know that Twisted Fate's not going to be able to kill me, and so I get an additional wave because I know this additional wave will give me boots. Then after I take this boots recall, I'm going to use that recall to then push the wave really quickly, and that right after that, and again I'm going to skip through kind of as we do in our macro videos because we're more focused on the decision making. So right after we do that, we just push the wave like we said here, and then I just recall for boots right away. I'm not overstaying. We're going to get our boots, and then we're going to immediately go clear the wave. You're going to see the next wave is clearing, and in mid lane, this is a very important thing to understand. So once you feel like you've already gotten a big lead in your lane, you don't really need to be there anymore. You want to clear the wave as soon as it comes to mid lane because it'll give you the maximum amount of time to roam before the next wave comes. So you see, I give myself a good timer to potentially roam. I ping my teammate so that he can hopefully stop his recall, which he does. And then we go here, and he does actually end up dying because of the Twisted Fate ultimate. But we do end up getting a little bit of an outplay here. Obviously, Twisted Fate playing kind of dumbly here. He thought that because this is 1v2, he's going to be able to win it. And then we obviously kill him. You know, it was messy, but again, the point we're making, the point that we're trying to help you guys understand is the macro decision-making thing that we go through, which is if you get an early lead, you use a recall to get an item spike. You get that item spike. You go to the wave, clear the wave that's currently in the lane, probably wait for the next wave to come, and clear it as soon as it gets to mid lane because you have the advantage in lane, so you have priority over the lane. As soon as you clear that lane, you use that agency that you have to then push the wave and then rotate and help your teammate. Doing that will either draw the enemy mid to you, or they'll be stuck clearing a wave in mid lane that won't reach for a while because of the fact that you pushed really quickly, and then you got to make sure you go back to the lane before they're able to push, you know, very hard or pressure your turret a ton. So that's just like a general macro thing that often allows you to get really good early leads. Of course, the enemy's made mistakes, which made this easier. And I'm not telling you guys, you know, I think there's some misconception when people watch my videos. They always say, you know, my teammates won't follow that, or this would never happen to me in a real game, or, you know, this is a perfect game or whatever. And I showcase you guys, you know, games to play from behind too, and games that don't go as well. But I do want to show you guys sometimes how to play when something good happens early and how to continue to utilize that to push the game even further. I'm not saying that this is going to be the most typical game that you ever have, but when you do have a lead in lane, or even sometimes when you don't have a lead in lane, just when you get a nice recall off for boots, you can use this to then constantly push and roam. Like you see again here, once again, I'm pushing and roaming, and I'm trying to make plays with my teammates. So because my jungler's on that side of the map, it makes sense for me to try to roam in that scenario because I see, you know, the enemy are obviously there and there's potential for a play. And so then rotating with our teammate after doing the same thing that we did before, pushing the wave really quickly as soon as it reaches mid lane, and then rotating allows us to once again get to move first. We have first move on the enemy, and then they're stuck chasing us, which allows us to make another play there. You can see just over and over, we're always going towards mid lane. I want, like, even to watch here again, go towards mid lane, clear that wave. I'm looking at my map and I can see that there's no wave for a while. You can see where the wave is here. It's right only at my tier 2 turret. And so I know I have the potential to rotate because I have some time before anything really happens. And so this obviously allows me to rotate, almost get a kill, get him really low, but don't quite kill him. But it's okay, then we turn on to the Twisted Fate where we do end up killing him. And so again, just constant rotations going all around the map, making plays as soon as we push the wave. You can see I'm never just sticking in my lane. And then this is a pretty funny scenario here. Somehow a clip shield saves me, flash out, and then watch this Ashe arrow. And this is what I mean, guys. There are some good parts of this game. The Ashe arrows him, and we get a free kill, so that was pretty funny as well. But just that constant roaming, constantly using our early lead to keep the pace up, and out roaming a Twisted Fate, by the way, is something that is important to note here. I'm literally out roaming a Twisted Fate. And you might wonder why I'm not just playing for the lane phase here. And that's because a lot of times it's really hard to just kill someone over and over and over again. depending on their champion or the way they play. So a Ghost Flash Twisted Fate is pretty easily going to stun me anytime I jump on him, and it's going to be pretty hard to just solo kill him in lane. So I decided, right, that I would not make that play to just try to solo kill him over and over again. Instead, I'm going to be pushing the lane the way that you saw there, and then try to make plays around the map as much as I can by getting the early lane prio and using my lead to then rotate further. Now, if you see a lot of angles to solo kill your opponent in lane, you can certainly take those angles first, but oftentimes what ends up happening is if you kill them over and over again, they become worth no gold. You get ganked, you don't gain much from it, and then your gold lead isn't very big, whereas here my gold lead is 3,000 gold on them. Obviously, you know, those last 2 kills in mid lane were pretty straightforward. We just went to mid, but you always see it, you know, I go through mid lane, I get the wave in mid lane, and then I go somewhere else. Now I see my team in mid here already, and I know that they've got control over that wave, and so then I decide to instantly go towards the bottom side of the map in this particular case, right? So it's just really about always having a lane covered and always trying to, you know, make sure that you're getting as much gold as possible while simultaneously being all over the map so you can find angles to roam on people and make their game as hard as possible. Again, we're going to get another kill on TF here. And by the way, guys, you know, actually this Twisted Fate, he was rank 3 Twisted Fate. And I had him in some of my games later. He was both on my team and on the enemy team. I played against him like 4 or 5 times in a row, against or with him. And he's actually played really well. Like, as much as he played bad this game, I noticed that he wasn't actually that bad of a player. Like, he was playing pretty well. Just kind of a game that went poorly for him. Like, again, there were the numerous circumstances that made the game kind of hard. And that's one thing that you actually can do as a player when a game goes poorly for you, is kind of something that he's doing here, which is being a lot more okay with dying and just making sure that you at least find some gold on side lanes and just try to basically split push all the time. Now, obviously, again, I'm not saying that he's playing well here. He's making a lot of mistakes and getting caught. But generally speaking, that's something you can do when you are behind. And then we saw there again, we're once again, now that we have that big lead, getting vision on the jungle and potentially looking for plays on junglers or other things like that, like we did on the Yone here. Just very aggressive kind of gameplay. I'm okay with eventually dying. We don't end up dying here to the Yone, though it was quite close. But I'm okay with eventually dying because I'm just trying to push my lead as much as I can. By, again, being everywhere on the map, clearing the waves on the side lane when my teammates are covering mid, warding the enemy jungle and looking to potentially take their jungle. I'm just going all over the map, constantly rotating, and obviously winning a lot of the fights because my champion is a really good early game champion. And so this is a lot more about how to kind of play really aggressive with a good, strong early game laner. I will definitely give you guys a video as well. I play some Ziggs. Perhaps I'll play Ziggs at some point. Give you guys some more passive mage gameplay and kind of help you understand how to play that type of style as well, for sure. But again, you can see this play style where we're just keeping up the pace constantly, going towards mid after we clear the wave, the turret, looking for that. Now I see something happening in top side. So now that the wave is cleared in mid lane, I'm looking to see if there's a potential angle for me to do something. Just always paying attention to the map, trying to be everywhere at once, basically. But always, again, the really important point about what I'm doing is that I'm not just rotating blindly and just, you know, doing stuff like that. I'm always going, and then I think I do end up getting caught here. It looks like maybe we didn't end up getting caught. But again, like, I'm not just rotating randomly. I'm always clearing a wave and then rotating. What that allows me to do, get a lot more gold. Okay, and then here's where the end comes. Yeah, that was a pretty dumb jump in there. And so then we end up dying. Definitely a big mistake there. Shouldn't have died, but we're still up 3,000 gold. We're up 4,000 gold on our laner, but our team as a whole is up 3,000 gold. And so that was obviously over aggressive, but like, again, the whole mindset thing is get a wave push, go somewhere else on the map, find the wave there. Even if you don't, you know, get a person, you can find the wave, you can find the turret, find enemy jungle camps, help your teammate out. There's so many different things that you can do by constantly keeping this lane push, which is why a lot of people will say they want you to freeze or control the wave in mid lane a lot. I'm not really looking for many freezes when I'm a really aggressive champion like this. Now, if I was Ziggs and my goal was just to dominate lane and get like a bit of a lane lead, or Orianna or Syndra or whatever, then you might look to freeze a bit more. But on these really aggressive champs, it's just, again, I go through mid, push it as quick as I possibly can, and then I go towards the bottom side. Now, again, I'm always just looking for pushing that wave first and then going and helping the enemy, because if you do it the other way, then you lose a lot more gold. And you can see it still ends up working out. And a lot of people, they're always like obsessed with finding the fight right away, and they would have just instantly rotated towards bot lane there. And while that would be fine, you're getting yourself less gold. You're not really going to be guaranteed that a fight's actually going to work out half the time. And then now you gain nothing from it if you do lose the fight. Whereas, say that I did die there, I still at least got the wave, and it's not that bad, right? So again, here we got a little over aggressive and end up dying, but like, Doesn't really matter. We got a wave. We still got a kill, even if he was worth very little gold. Obviously, shouldn't have died there. Again, over-aggressive gameplay from me at this point. You can see me making some mistakes. But I was just trying to get the inhib. I was okay with dying if I got the inhib, but we didn't end up getting the inhib, obviously. This new Jhin build, by the way, with Storm Razor, Magnetic Blaster, and like Fleet. I think it's Fleet. I don't know if they go Fleet, but I know they go Storm Razor and Magnetic. They're so fast because of the new Storm Razor passive. Like, watching a Jhin I still don't think Jhin is very good, but into squishy champions, Jhin is quite strong. But into tanks, he obviously still will struggle a lot. Again, I know this is really the whole point of the video, so I'm just going to keep pointing it out. We go through mid, we push something, and then we look for a play somewhere else, and we see obviously the Yone then here. And the reason that I'm so confident to walk into the enemy jungle here is because 2 of them are dead, so I know, of course, there's not much that can happen. Then we end up just flipping this because we're trying to bait the Yone as we go on the objective. And it ends up getting a bit risky here, but because he used his third ability and his ultimate, we know he can't go over the wall because he doesn't have flash either. And so we end up just getting this for free here, as you can see. Which, again, this is kind of more of a risky play, but we knew it would work out because, you know, in higher lows, you can do things like that when you know they don't have ways to get over the wall or they don't have other things like that. Now we just go and push the waves once again. Pretty straightforward how we can kind of end the game through here. We're just going to continue to push, take everything that we can before recalling. That's kind of an important thing to note too. After you get a big advantage or kill the enemy or push a lot of turrets, make sure you're taking their jungle camps on the way out and you're not just backing instantly unless you know that you need a recall for a quick objective. But we just continue to push here, go through mid lane, find the TF, go and flash. Didn't actually need to kill him there, but then I think we end the game here, which we do. So again, very quick, very snowball-y game. I know that you guys sometimes don't like seeing those types of games because you feel like that's not a common way to play, but it is important to understand how to play when you have this aggressive early game champion and you get a lead on them. Really making sure that you're always going through mid lane, pushing and getting that wave priority, and then utilizing that wave priority to make plays on various parts of the map, as you saw in this game. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're interested in coaching from a rank 5 sovereign autofill player, I do coaching for just $15 an hour. Just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description of my Discord server, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.